Thank you, Robert, and thank you for inviting me. It's my great pleasure to be here. What I want to do today is start off with a confession, and the confession is this. I watch precious little drama in serial form on TV anymore. Although I recently wrote a book called Serial Television, things have radically changed in my own viewing habits since it was published 5 years ago. Of course, serial television is still being made and shown in weekly episodes on TV. The problem is, I personally rarely watch it now in its intended serial form. I tend to watch serial TV today like I used to watch a film or a single drama, in 1 or 2 viewings, to the point where it doesn't seem like a serial to me anymore. So how did this happen? How did my own viewing practices change so much and so quickly? Well, when 24 was first broadcast on TV in the UK, I kept missing episodes. And somehow I just felt I couldn't catch up. I'd missed a whole hour of Jack Bauer's day. So I gave up. I decided I would buy the DVD box set and I would watch that. So I bought it, I was very proud of it, and I put it on my shelf, but deep down I thought, I'm never really going to watch this. Not really. I mean, this is 24 hours we're talking about. This is a whole day of my life. I'm not going to spend it watching TV. Of course, other serials that I've watched have lasted longer than 24, but they didn't tell me that when I started watching. However, I went down with a bad case of flu, and I was in my bed, and I had nothing to do, and there was that box set looking at me saying, come on, open me up. So I did, and I've got to confess that I watched 24, the first series, in almost 24 consecutive hours. Okay, I did have a little sleep, and a little soup from time to time, but mainly I sat and watched it. If anybody who's watched 24, you know when it comes to an end, you've got to get on to the next one. Now, one of the reasons for this, I think, is that 24 appeared to tap into the liveness of TV and the internet through its use of split screen and its employment of real time. As Tara McPherson says, the web is process in motion and under our control. In its frenetic split-screen technology, 24 housed this new form of mediated mobile liveness. If the web seeks to appropriate TV's long-standing relationship with liveness by offering us up a volitional mobility, 24 fights back from the space of the television screen, claiming this enhanced and mobile liveness for itself. Added to this, I think the sheer production values of 24, like a lot of contemporary TV drama, mimics the aesthetics of cinema, perhaps turning the episodic serial into a big screen event, one which might warrant a single viewing rather than tapping into each week. So how did this all happen in such a short space of time? And what does it tell us about the future of serial drama today? These are questions I want to address in my paper. In a nutshell, I will argue that serial drama is moving away from television and finding a new and perhaps an even more suitable home for itself online. In particular, I will focus on ways in which online drama may actually be seen to enhance the original power of television, particularly its construction of the intimate screen and its employment and harnessing of the serial form. Okay. Writing in 1982, John Ellis famously argued in Visible Fictions that the intimacy of television was emphasized by a number of characteristics. First of all, it had a cramped dimension It was a small screen. Secondly, we would watch it in a domestic environment. So we would watch it in the home, and particularly in the living room, with other people. And also, it had a relatively poor quality. Television, compared to cinema, was about talking heads. It was about dialogue, not about spectacle. So John Ellis argued that this meant television generally constructed a more private, personal, and intimate narrative space, particularly in contrast to the aesthetics of cinema. And I think this was certainly true of early television drama, particularly those that were based in studio drama in the early days of the 40s and the 50s. As TV historian Jason Jacobs explains in his book, The Intimate Screen, Early British Television Drama, he says, intimacy as a quality of television drama meant close familiarity between characters in interior settings. Television critics argued that the poorer meter for television drama's intimacy, the proper meter for television drama's intimacy meant the limitation of ambition, away from film's space-expanding possibilities, and towards the enclosure of electronic theatre. Intimacy meant that revelation and display of the character's inner feelings and emotions affected by a close-up style. Okay, so that was television drama of the past, but now critics have come along and said this is no longer the case. John Caldwell, for example, suggests that the contemporary landscape of what he calls televisuality can partly be understood as the mediums move away from these traditional characteristics towards what he calls a cinematic look. Television now has a cinematic look. According to Caldwell, cinematic values brought television spectacle, high production values, and feature-style cinematography. Series that utilise this mode typically promise broadcasters and audiences alike television's big picture. It was as if the televisual producers packaged labels with their cinematic shows that read, "Panavision shows that we care." So, as television, particularly television drama and the serial drama, moved towards capturing the cinematic spectacle, and I think here of 24, Lost, CSI, Heroes, etc., so we have arguably seen the end of the intimate screen. That was until the invention of this, the webcam. Now, I didn't know this until recently, but the webcam was actually invented, and we see this rather poor quality picture, was the coffee can, which actually was invented at Cambridge University, because people worked on different floors, and they didn't know if they would walk up 4 flights of steps, and they would go to the coffee pot, and it would be empty, and they would go, "Oh, Jesus." So some bright spark said, let's put a little camera on, we're all on the internet, and then you know if the coffee pot is full or not. And that's how the webcam was invented, and that's the original coffee can there. Nobody had any idea that it would have any other potential.